Welcome everybody to yet another virtual happy hour. Here we are, hops at home. We are in our sequestered homes, although Ken below me, and I should introduce Ken McMullen from Hot Vine Brewing. It looks like you're in the brewery, Ken. How are you?
I am. I cleaned a serving tank today, transferred a beer in there, and we're serving it tonight. It'll be pristine tomorrow though. But that's this one, Brew Monkey.
Oh, that's the one you had the other day.
But I should also mention that I've got this on tap from D&G.
Excellent.
Their IPA. What's it? Denali IPA?
Denali. Yes, indeed. A very good IPA. And we can find out a little bit more about that when our guest comes in properly. Over to my left, as we look at the full screen, is Mr. Jay Rosicki from Malted Tales. Hey, Jay.
Cheers.
What's on tap today?
Well, because like most people, I am running low on my Chicago beer. I'm cracking into my out-of-state beer, which this is Desert Eagle from Arcane Ale Works out of Largo, Florida.
Is that a picture of Steven Seagal on the front of it?
No, it's I don't know who it is. It's an Italian guy. I don't know who, but if you're ever down to Largo, Florida, you got to check them out. They're one of my favorite breweries, bars, across the world. They specialize in sours and stouts. They're just a really good brewery to check out.
And what was the style that we had?
Oh, it's their rye whiskey barrel aged imperial with chocolate, coconut, and pecan. Or pecan, however you want to say it.
Sounds good to me. And that rye piece actually introduces what I'm drinking today and also brings in our special guest who I know was just suddenly serving a customer, but we have a crowler of D&G and it is his rye IPA. And I like to crack this open. Oh, I say, this is one of my favorite beers. Hey, Ken, look at the glass I'm pouring it into.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a Furkery glass, a Nonic pint.
And now I'm spilling it everywhere. Good Lord.
Fill that sumbitch up.
I know, I will, man. Why is it dripping out? Well, I tell you what, let's go to the person who filled the bloody thing. Down that way, it's Mr. Alex Drayer from D&G Brewing in St. Charles. Welcome, Alex.
Hello, how are you guys?
We're doing really good. How are you doing, more likely? And tell me, why is it that when I pour from the crowler, it always spills everywhere?
I don't know. I have the same problem.
Oh.
Usually because I drank too much.
So you're looking very bushy, Alex.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's my winter fur.
Your quarantine fur?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
No, until my wife says I look like no, seriously, until my wife says I look like a hobo, I usually let it grow. Once I pass homeless and become hobo, then I shave it.
Yeah, you got one of these?
Yes, I do.
Hang on a minute. Do that again, Ken. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. I love the way you do that.
Here, I'm going to do Alex's now.
Yeah.
I have to. It's so long at this point. I have to condition it, or it gets like knotty. Like I swear to God, there's gonna be a bird nesting in it one day.
Your
condition it well.
Body?
Cheers. I love this. So tell us, Alex, about what you're drinking, and tell me what's in my beer that I'm drinking.
Well, I'm drinking the one beer I said I never drink, a New England IPA.
Is it a hazy?
It is a hazy. I brewed it. It is the Fun E IPA, which if you change around the letters is FUNE IPA.
I like that.
You're quite a wag, aren't you, Alex?
What can I say?
This is your beer, Alex. This is the Denali IPA.
I love the Denali.
So tell us exactly, how have things been during this sequestering period for you guys, because I came in last week and picked up 3 crowlers, which four, I think, didn't I? Yeah. Because what are you doing? A 3 for 4? No, a 4 for 3, right?
4 for 25.
Ah, right. Okay. Really? That's
So
even
4
better
crowlers for
deal.
25.
That's an even better deal, man.
Yeah, a little bit better. I mean, normally our normal crawlers are $9 each, and then we go buy 3, get a 4 free. But our Down with Disease special is 4 for 25. And then, of course, we're selling corny kegs for 60, and those are our Corona kegs. We might as well, have all the puns involved in all of this.
Yeah. Well, I was down by you, about probably, what was it, 2 months ago?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
And I remember we were talking. We were talking about the festival, and you were like, "Well, if we have beer by then,
yeah,
we'll come to the festival."
My partners and I talked about what festival's going to do, and I want to stick with more local fests that aren't that are run by local facilities more than run by certain other.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain, but with all this going on, we're definitely going to be put behind schedule. So I don't, we probably won't have
everything is. We were approved to do it for May 30th. We think it is, both Riverlands and I find it socially irresponsible to do it because, 1, I think it's too early, and 2, I don't think any of the breweries that were on board are going to be out of the hole by then. I mean, quite honestly, it's going to take us. I think it's going to take everybody a while to recover. So, I think that's the direction we'll go with it.
And just to let the viewers know, what is the festival that you're talking about?
Charles's first brewery festival. We had about 60 breweries lined up to be in it. It was very exciting, but it was supposed to be for May 30th. And we were looking at about 1,500 people showing up to it here in St. Charles at Lincoln Park. And we're going to postpone things for a while. We still want to do it. We have the approval from the city and everybody. But we're not going to be able to do it. We at least responsibly feel we shouldn't do it until September, August, September, in that frame, maybe a little later. But we'll keep people posted.
So in this instance, obviously there's other people like, what's the Brewfest folks, Ken?
Blue Dog.
Thank you.
Blue Dog event. I don't think there's going to be any beer fest this summer.
I honestly,
kind of shit's going to happen.
I've sent a couple emails to Josh asking what's going on, and he has some family stuff going on with his mom. He has not said anything to me personally about canceling stuff, but nothing's going on till the earliest, probably July or August, if at all, this year, at least with him.
Yeah, I can understand that. I guess my question to Alex was going to be, obviously you had reserved a spot somewhere to hold this. Yeah. Was there any financial transaction that's taken place, a deposit that is going to be lost? And because I'm thinking,
no, not yet. No, the city's been really good with us. Tentatively, they've given us a second date, which is July 25th. But we think that it'll probably be out further than that. But we'll play it by ear. Honestly, we're not in. We've kind of purchased some things, but there are things we can use at another date. You know what I mean? It's glassware and stuff like that.
Yeah, the key is always on glassware. Don't put a date on it.
That's exactly right.
Because we had that with Pollyanna. Right. Pollyanna, I think one of the years they ordered glassware for one of their fests, and they had a date on it, and they didn't use half of them. And I'm I didn't think of this. Someone else said it, but after the fact, I'm all right. Future reference, never put a date on something that may or may not happen. You can put the name of it, but not a date, because that'll change.
Even though John Bitterman may like it as a collectible.
Yeah.
We give a ding to John Bitterman. There we go. So another question I got for you, Alex, is how's those lovely 2 little kids of yours?
Oh, stir crazy, but awesome. The baby's easy. The baby just, does what babies do. They cry and they poop and eat a lot. The toddler is off the walls, but she's good. Everybody's healthy. Couldn't ask for anything more. Everybody's healthy.
That's good to hear.
Sure.
So I know that some people are still brewing. I know Ken has brewed recently. I want to know, are you still brewing once in a while, or are you fermenters?
Yes. The hazy we brewed 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. We're rebrewing the Kolsch this coming week. We're also brewing a Hefeweizen in the next week or so, like week to 10 days. And then we're brewing Denali again. So we are brewing. We need the beer. We're running through it.
That's good to hear.
So obviously I stopped in a while back and I talked with you briefly when I was there, but for those that don't know D&G, what does the name stand for? How did you get started in this industry?
D&G, Drayer and Groot. Like I am Groot. It's my last name and my wife's last name. That's how the business got its name. How did I get started in this industry? A bunch of old guys in Colorado were sitting around a table, and it was the first time I had ever been to a brewery. I had just moved to Colorado, and they were talking about the beers, and I didn't know shit about beer. All I ever drank was Sierra Nevada. So it was like, oh, what do you drink? Oh, I drink Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. They're like, well, here, try, it was like 10 different beers. And it was at a brewery called Crabtree Brewing, which is right on the Union Pacific tracks in Greeley, Colorado. And they started talking to me and said, come on down to my our brew club meeting. There were a bunch of home brewers. And it took about a month for me to actually show up at one of their meetings. And it was basically prompted by my wife. She was like, get the hell out of the house. You're annoying me. Go to this brew club meeting. And I went to the brew club meeting, and everybody was sitting around at Crabtree Bar, passing beers around, all brews that they made. And I thought that was really cool. And they convinced me to, come out the following weekend and brew with them. And I brewed with them, and I had a blast. And then went and bought a kit. And like so many home brewers, started with kit beers and did that for about 3 different kits. It was like, no, I want to do all grain. Immediately hooked. Like brewing my own beer, I was just hooked. And as a home brewer, just started doing all grain. Built a brew stand. Didn't know how to weld, but the old guys were like, hey, do you know how to weld? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, you're about to get a crash course in welding because we're not going to build it for you. So they showed me how to weld, and I welded this ugly looking brew stand together with horrible welds on it. But it worked, and it was a gravity stand, and started doing all grain gravity brewing. It was a blast. And then when my wife, both of us, we were both college professors. And our positions kind of dried up at the university funding lines. And my wife was like, let's move back to Chicago. She's from here. And she bribed me by saying, yes, I was allowed to open a brewery. And I was as green as can be, knew nothing about brewing on a big system. But I had a lot of friends that own breweries out in Colorado. And I talked to them about it. And just dove right in.
Started this history.
Yeah.
So you literally have no formal education in brewing?
None. Zero.
That is awesome. I was one of those believers that, you got to go to Siebel to have any kind of, good beers. And there was other thoughts I had. Like, I used to think, brew pub is not a real brewery because they have food. And obviously now I'm, going to be opening Milk Money, which we have food. But my opinions, because I'm educating myself, I'm new to the industry as of only like 4 years ago. every time I hear something more, it's like, okay, Siebel's great, but there are so many awesome brewers out there that have never had any formal education that are killing it. And I was not neglecting them, but I would be like, oh, well, you know, they're home brewers. They're not anything special. Not the case at all. Totally changed my mind. I've educated myself more. I do find, though, a lot of brewers are like yourself, well-educated people, like teachers, guys with masters or girls with masters, not in brewing, but in education. I'm like, holy cow, that's a weird thing. But brewing beer is so scientific. You have to have an education to do it.
Oh, let me tell you. Like, hold on 1 second. Let me grab something. Mind me showing this. I bought these 2 books. They're from Siebel.
I've got those books.
They're Volume 1, Volume 2. Jean de Clerc.
Jean de Clerc.
And they read like my PhD level statistics book.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's some complicated information.
Miss Ken, you had something to say?
Yeah, I got 2 things. One is when I first went to D&G, he had these tap handles that had definitely the Grateful Dead like lightning bolt.
Yeah, the circle.
Yeah, the steal your face.
Yeah.
So I thought D&G was like dead and grateful. That's like until about 2 months ago. That's what I thought D&G stood for, and it's still cool, but I don't know. Dead and grateful stuck in my head. What about? Okay, I have 3 things.
2 things. 3.
One is, we were supposed to brew a collab in February, and now all this shit blew up. We're still gonna collab, right, Alex?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like absolutely.
After we can be within 6 feet of each other again.
Yeah.
After you guys can be together.
Hell yeah.
You got an Imperial IPA you're brewing or something coming up?
I will be. Yeah. I'm gonna do a West Coast style Imperial IPA. Try to push it to about 100 IBUs. Not like that means anything, but you know, super bitter, super, you know, piney.
Nice.
You know, that's kind of my style IPA. That I like quite a bit.
So before you go, Alex, because we have to be a bit auspicious with the time that Zoom gives us for the freebie. I'm too cheap to pay for it. We'd like to ask you, can you play Show Us Your Fridge, please?
Sure.
Oh, thank you very much. Is it going to be a beer fridge or a cooler?
It's going to be our beer cooler.
Oh, let's have a...
And if I can get it, there's all the kegs.
Beautiful. Did you put that all together yourself?
I did.
That's
I built it. I built it myself.
So let me ask you a real quick question then before we go, and that is, what is in your beer fridge at home?
What is in my beer fridge at home? Actually, I have the Cascadian Ale in my beer fridge at home.
That's your beer,
and
right?
And that is about it. Maybe 1 or 2 full ciders. I don't have a lot of beer at home. I don't drink a whole lot at home.
That's okay. We don't drink a lot anywhere else these days.
Generally, I drink at the brewery. No, I shouldn't say that.
So before we head out, just give everybody the information that they need to find you in St. Charles.
I am at 303 North 4th Street, St. Charles. We're tucked away inside the Bring It Sports warehouse. You'll feel like you're in a residential neighborhood, but you're not. And
phone number?
Find us on Facebook.
Phone number?
773-203-2325.
And what's your current supplying of beer process?
Right now, you can walk in and pick it up at the counter. Just remember your social distancing. And if you want me to come out to the curb, I will.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Jay,
Well, I appreciate being on.
hey, it's good to have you. And Jay, don't fall over from your 12%er. I'm having fun with the Furkery in my glass here. I'm going to say it's cheers from me.
Cheers for me as well.
Cheers from me.
And in the absence of Ken, it's cheers from... He's back!
Oh, he's back.
Cheers, Ken. Cheers.
Cheers, Ken.
Ah, there we go. I love this Zoom. It's so reliable.
Yes.
Take care, guys. All the best.
See ya.
Take care.